Hi everyone, welcome back to R&R Sugarloaf Farm. So today's video is just going to be an update on the previous about dozen videos that we just recently released on YouTube. I know that some of you are wanting an update on some of the videos, and so that's what this is going to be. If it becomes too long, it might be a two-parter. So here we go. Okay, so with Blossom, she has since recovered. We tried beer for her on one of the videos, which that works on resetting a rumen. And for her, it worked a little bit, but then the video where we did the cud transfer, because that was gross. But we did that, and it worked the best in her situation. And then she made a full recovery. And so this year, you're talking about 12 months later, we are going to be breeding her this fall. And so we couldn't do that last year, but we're able to this year. So last breeding season, one of the videos, Shay was limping. It was just a sprain. She's fine. And so she's all good. So Cracker, our Pyrenees dog. So we never found him. And so unfortunately, it is what it is. Since then, this spring, we waited about 6 months or so, and then this spring we wound up getting another Great Pyrenees puppy named Buddy, which you'll meet him in another video. Sadie, our other dog, is no longer with us as well. And so we just have Buddy. One of those videos, we had turkeys as a 4-H project for the kids. And we've since got rid of them. We missed our butchering dates for them. So we went ahead and just gave them away to another 4-H family, so that they could, do with them how they please. Okay, the little chicken that showed up, and we wound up calling Dino Nugget. So we had her she'd lay an egg every other day or so. She was real cute and everything, real nice. But we had her about 5 months. And then one of our neighbors just showed up randomly one day and was like, "That's my chicken," and took off with her. And so we're like, "Oh, okay." So little hurt feelings in there, but we weren't gonna press the issue. And so they picked her up. Hazel, our yearling doe that was walking around in circles. Unfortunately, she never recovered from that. And what we're suspecting, what had happened is she might have had a stroke. She didn't fit the symptoms for the meningeal worm or the polio or listeria. It just didn't fit with what the symptoms she was having, and eventually she did get worse, and so unfortunately we had to put her down. But it wasn't the greatest time for the kids. They were real emotional about it. They really liked Hazel. I really liked Hazel. But just she never got better, and she was getting worse. And so we had to make a hard decision. The goat our visiting goats that we had last year got bred. So the visiting Ginger, she got successfully bred by Q. She had twins, a buck and a doe. The doe went on to be shown at our county fair this year and did really well for that intermediate kid class. The other two visiting does, Elsa and Little Luna, they both got bred. They had successful births. I think one had twins and one had triplets. I think Little Luna had triplets. So they did really good. And the cedar worked for Elsa because she's an aged doe that had some reproductive problems that didn't take, and so we ceded her. And then with the hormones in place with that, she got bred. So she's actually going to come again this year, and we're going to do the same procedure to hopefully get her bred again. We'll have another video up here pretty soon on cedar protocol. Because we are doing things a little bit differently for breeding season here this year. And so that'll be in the upcoming video. The video with the buck health, all our bucks are really good, real healthy. We did lose one buck this year to pneumonia. That was Jean-Luc. And pneumonia is really hard on goats. It's something that a lot of breeders will say that, you know, they were fine one moment and then they went out and they found their animal passed away the next. Well, that's what happened to us in this situation. We had never had a goat to pass from pneumonia before for us. And so we went out. It was in February. It had gotten really cold. We'd gone out for the morning chores. Everything was good. Everyone was good. Everyone was acting normal. No issues. Nothing flagging that we thought we had a sick goat. We go out later on that afternoon for evening chores, and he didn't come to the fence. We're like, oh, where's Jean-Luc? Well, then we went and found him, and he was down. And so we brought him inside the house and tried to do everything we could as far as medicine and intervention, and it just wasn't enough. And so it went really quick. So also what happened this spring during kidding season is we lost our first doe during kidding season. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because this can happen to anybody, but I just want others to know that it can happen and that it has happened to other people just like us, as to where we had a doe to where she was a first freshener, so meaning that she had never kidded before. She had a big single buckling. That buckling got stuck. We did everything we could to get it out. Took a long time. We got him out. She was okay. The kid, you know, had passed because it had taken so long to get him out. And then a few days later, she passed. And we're like, okay, what happened? Well, come to find out, she had a uterine tear. And so that is something that can happen. So just know your goats, you know, and write down even the oddest behavior after they've been through something traumatic. Write it down. And even though, like, we were giving her antibiotics because, you know, we had helped intervene and pull that goat, she wound up passing anyway. There wouldn't have been anything that a vet could have done to intervene. And so it was a loss. It sucked. But I just want to share that with y'all so that, you know, if you weren't aware that that can happen, or if you were aware but it hasn't happened to you, that you know, hey, some things can happen. Okay, so this year we had 40 total kids born, between, I think it was 17 does. I'm not 100% on the doe count. I can't remember right off the top of my head. But we had 40 kids. 23 were bucks and 17 were does. So I mean, the bucks won this year, but it is what it is. And most of them wound up finding homes. And then we did keep 5 doelings, which we will, in another video, introduce them and share them. Okay, so upcoming videos are going to be about our show results from our fair this year. I was only able to make it to the one show, and there's reasons behind that. And then an explanation of kind of like how we had a big break. Because I know that some of y'all are like, hey, where are you? Or, oh, you've got all these videos and now we're doing an update video, but where were you? So we're going to explain that. And then we'll have updated videos of current. What we'll wind up doing is releasing 1 video a week for right now. It'll probably be released on Monday or Tuesday. And then we'll go from there. So, yeah. All right. Thanks for sticking with us, and we will catch y'all next time. Bye.